Hi everyone. Tonight, this morning with the open hearth, we are playing the David Webb, which is a game of action cinematography by Hamish Cameron. Um, it's a cool game inspired by Jason Bourne and that ilk of espionage film, where we get to discover more about our protagonist by chasing him down and trying to kill him. That's completely how those things work. My name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. I'm facilitating the game, but I guess we're all going to be playing at the same level. Um, my favorite thing about Jason Bourne films is, those quiet moments where it seems like Jason might actually be a normal human, but that never lasts because someone tries to kill him and he goes into kill back mode. Sabine.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns. I have not seen the Jason Bourne movies. I think James Bond put me off a lot of the spy movies, really, because, but there's a British TV series called Spooks, which I really liked. And not just because Richard Armitage is in one of the later seasons, I even like the earlier seasons. This is a very, like British TV shows tend to be if somebody's dead, they're dead. They're gone. Next season, you get new spy, which feels kind of, yeah, realistic. So I like that one. I also like Chuck, that which is far more comedic, and some of the actors have turned out to be really, really not fun people. But the series itself was quite good.
I'm Shane. I use they them pronouns. I now that I know that two people here haven't seen the Bourne movies, I don't want to say a favorite part that's a spoiler. I'm trying to think of my second favorite part of a Jason Bourne movie. Um, I really like the scene in the diner where he's freaking out because he knows all these strange things. I mean, describing this so badly. Um, when he has amnesia and he doesn't understand why he knows how fast he can run for how long and what altitude they're at and who's most likely to have a gun in the diner and all kinds of other secret spy knowledge. It's very good.
Yeah, nice. I'm still traumatized to go back to Sabine's favorite one. I'm still traumatized by episode 2 of season 1 of Spooks when they got rid of, spoiler alert, Lisa Faulkner in a shock kill episode. Um, Sorry. Anyway, thanks, Shane. Mads, you
Yeah, Mads, she, they pronouns, and yes, I am the shameful one that has not seen a Jason Bourne movie. I have watched other movies from the comedic Austin Powers to Mission Impossible, and I did see the shameful James Bond one. You know, the one where he's parasailing on an iceberg, the Kingsman, and more ensemble ones uh Red, again, like more comedic stuff. And then like Ronin is probably the closest that I've seen to a spy film, um in all seriousness. So I mean, yeah, I
Seen the
don't
best
really
one.
delve into this much.
You
Yeah,
can't look.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, probably that's probably like what, like the vibe I'm going to give to this, to give it the oomph that it needs. But yeah, so I will watch a Jason Bourne film after this.
Ronan is a perfectly good stand-in, okay, so let's start. I'm gonna roll a d6 and see what kind of, I guess, what kind of mood David is in. Roll a 3, so that means David enters a credit space. Roll vision to keep him in sight. So there's prompts in on the prompts tab for all of these that help you to, you can roll or decide whatever. I think we see David walking down some kind of carnival or street fair, Uh, it's not obvious, super obvious from the signage or the style, what city we're in. Maybe it's just whatever they had in the props department that day. Um, he's walking down. I think he has like a really obvious Hawaiian shirt or whatever. But maybe the next time we see him, he doesn't have that. He's down to a t-shirt. So he is definitely, in avoid being obvious mode. This is based on vision, which I have a +0 on. So I'm just gonna re-roll the dice and see how I do. I don't do. I roll a 2, so that's a 3 in total. And David eludes me. Just about. I think what we see is, this unnamed tough guy, shades, probably carrying a weapon, races ahead to where he saw David, grabs his shoulder, a shoulder matching that Hawaiian shirt, and like turns around a complete stranger, like someone who's like going, what the hell? And we see this guy just standing there as the carnival, surges past him, like looking for uh, David. So yeah, that's me. I will pass the camera on to Sabine.
Okay. So I get to choose an action and then do I choose it or roll it or
You're
is
gonna
it?
you're gonna roll it first.
I'm gonna
So
roll
the
it
thing here
first.
is it's that
Okay.
initial hook is random, and then if you keep
Okay.
them in your frame, so if you get a 4 to 6 result, you get to choose the next action that you
Okay.
take.
Apparently I'm fragrant, which is nice, but not well. Anyway, I've got a 3. So that means that's again, David enters the crowded space. Roll vision to keep inside. Damn it. Okay. So I think yeah, crowded space. I think there is a mall next to the carnival thingy, and it's quite full because people want to shop and they need costumes. And I think we can see yeah, I think my guy has a tablet of some sort and looks at it and looks through the cameras in the mall and sees David walking through the main thoroughfare of this mall and entering a store with costumes. So my guys, it's like, yeah, gotta get you there, and then he goes to the entrance and stands there and waits for David, and I gotta roll again, but I'm not fragrance anymore. Apparently I am. There we go. And I'm rolling a d6 again. And it's a 5. There we go. I keep David in my frame. Ha. Yeah. I think once I'm oh no, it's a 4, but because I not don't have very good vision, but that gives me the same result. So I think yeah, I am at the entrance and I see David leave. He has on the costume of a secret agent of all things. Um, and that was just a pretty bland thing, but I know that he's there. What do I do now that I'm keeping him in my frame?
So now you get to choose an action. So now that you've kept them in your frame, you can try to you can describe an action that he takes that allows you to roll access to follow him. And so the deal is here is that if you lose them again, you pass the camera. But if you
Mhm.
keep him in the frame 3 times, you get to reveal something about him. Or obviously,
Oh,
if you got a token and you could get up to 7, you would reveal something immediately. But if you keep him in the frame 3 times in a row, you,
mhm.
you get to
Okay.
you get to reveal something. So you can describe your best how you use your best stat basically.
Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, I think I'm still tracking him through the mall cameras. He moves on. It's but maybe the bland costume was not the greatest idea of all time because there are a few people in suits right now because it's a carnival. People don't wear suits, so so it's not that hard to keep him in the frame. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how hard it is.
Hmm.
I'm rolling 1d6 again. It's a 6. It's a 7. Ooh, yeah. What can I do now?
So now what you can do, you describe where you both are, and
Mm-hmm.
then you reveal something. So when you reveal something, you can see the list below:
Mm-hmm.
information, memory, and identity.
Okay.
You're gonna pick, um, you're gonna check a box anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's up to us when we go to end game, but obviously
Mm-hmm.
we probably don't want to go to game yet, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna describe a scene where David either finds information about his pursuers, that's us. You're going to describe a scene where David remembers something about himself, or reveal the identity of an antagonist who attempts to kill David. Um,
Okay.
you'll see on the prompts tab there are
Mm-hmm.
also a bunch of stuff for these to help you out with, like what a
Okay.
file could mean, what memories about people or conversations or places or whatever it could be as well.
Okay. I think I would like to mark the first box or the first column, which is on formation contact. And let me check the prompts here. Files contact. I don't know if there are no.
Context is at the bottom of the first.
Oh, it's there. Yeah. Okay. 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 Former or current agency insiders. But this is a flashback, right?
So this is David finds information about his
Uh-huh.
pursuers. So
Ah, okay.
this
Okay.
could be a flashback, or it could
Oh,
be.
I think what this is in the mall there are info screens, right? And when David sees the info screen about an interview with let's say with some government official, some kind of clerk or something, and they talk about some kind of incident. It's not very clear what that was about, but David remembers that guy. He's seen him before. He remembers, I think he remembers trying to get that guy to tell him something. Um, while and he knows that that was not a that he tried to get a little insistent, and turns out that that guy was not quite as pushover as he seems right now. So, yeah. Is that
Okay, great.
okay?
I mean,
Cool.
it's a start, right? I think
Yeah.
we don't reveal too much all at once.
No, no, I don't want
Um,
to go to.
and the
Yeah.
last thing you do is give a token. So you give a token to one of us.
I will give a token to I think I will give a token to Shane's guy because he also has a lot of access, and I think I respect that.
Awesome. Uh, Thanks, Amy. Shane, it's your turn. So you can spend that token to like up the result of your pursuit whenever you get there. So yeah, makes it easier for us to make progress. So the first thing you do again is you roll action to see what David is up to.
Yep. So David has acquired a new vehicle. I have to roll access to find my own vehicle. So he like busts out the exit from the mall. He and there's a guy on a motorbike riding past. He just grabs the jacket and throws him to the ground. Jumps onto the bike and is tearing away just as I like burst through the doors behind him. You know, so annoyed. I'm supposed to be back at headquarters on the phone. I'm not supposed to be chasing this guy around, but here we all are. So I'm rolling d6 plus one. Oh, no, not 2d6. How do I step that down?
If you want to exit, it'll get rid
Yeah.
of it, and you can kind of build it again.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, that is a three altogether. So David eludes me. So I guess I mean, he's just in the dust, right? Like I'm frantically looking around for a bike or a car or something that will take me away. But this carnival's going on everywhere. There's not a whole lot of traffic. I'm just clutching my fists in frustration, screaming,
But
damn
don't
it.
you have access plus one, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I rolled a 2, so
Oh, okay, okay. And you got a token.
do I get a token for that?
No, you got a token
Oh,
from
yeah, right.
Sabine, so you could, if you want to, bump it up to a 4 to 6
All right,
to
why
to
not? I'm
keep
not
in touch.
saving the token for anything. Just at the last minute when it seems like this is never going to work out, taxi driver pulls up and I rudely throw him out of his cab. Uh, he's the one shaking his fists in frustration, screaming for the police, and I'm tearing off after David. So that means I get to say what action he gets next.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just pick which action next, and then you can roll again to keep in touch.
So David enters a restricted space. So he has, I'm barely keeping up with his motorbike in the distance, but I can see that he's gone in the employee entrance to a electronics factory. I'm not quite sure what they make here, but no, civilians shouldn't be going in there. There's big warning, keep out signs. There's security guards. It looks the security guards look more armed than you would expect for a facility like this. There's obviously something shady going on. I'm gonna roll access. Oh, I'm gonna that's a 7. So I'm gonna catch up with David. Uh,
So
I
again, you can pick from either of those three columns: information, memory, or identity to reveal something.
I just want someone to try and kill David. I just want to get back to the office. So I'm gonna reveal an asset, right?
Okay.
Um, One of those security guards who seems unreasonably well armed for this situation is working for us, and he has trained his assault rifle on David and is about to squeeze the trigger. Do I roll for this? I assume he's not killing David this early in the game.
No, so when we do something like this, when we choose identity, we're revealing the identity of someone who attempts to kill David. Um, uh, and then we actually do
Right. I see.
try the rule, right? But uh, so you tell us how the antagonist tries to kill David, then one of us says how David avoids death, and then basically each of us
Everyone
describes
has.
like how he avoids death, and then you decide whether David kills the asset in the end. So basically, um, the only way we actually get to kill David is by doing this end game, right? So when assets or quarterbacks try to kill David, they always end up failing.
Sure. Well then, Mads, I guess it's you first. So this undercover security guard has trained his assault rifle on David and squeezed the trigger. How does David avoid death?
Yeah, I think from a distance, I mean, it's basically like since it's not point blank, because he sees the like David sees the action. I think he's able to create a distraction by taking up some of these parts that aren't like within the production, and be able to like kind of like throw them as obstacles, or like create the you know uh, again, the distraction for the guard, so he doesn't have a clear target, and so he's able to kind of like duck behind and like lose himself in the factory. And
Nice.
I think he, yeah, I mean, am I supposed to like just like say how David sneaks up behind him and takes him out?
No, no.
Uh,
So what happens is that Shane describes how this asset continues to try to kill
Okay,
David, and then each of so me
okay,
and Sabine
no
then
problem.
describe how he avoids death, and then
Great.
Shane describes how David either kills the asset or just gets away.
Okay, okay, well, that's the start of it then.
Yeah, yeah. Because the
Yeah.
fights are always take a while in Jason
Yes.
Bourne.
Got it. Okay.
So,
Well, see that now I gotta watch the movies. All right. Great.
so Sabine, this asset realizes he's too far away. It's too easy for David to elude him. So he gives chase. He's running really fast. He's coming up behind David. Leveling his gun. He's got a really clear shot this time. How does David avoid death?
I think David is aware that somebody's here with a gun trying to kill him, right? So I think what David does is when he realizes this guy's really right up behind him. This is a factory. There's an assembly line, right? I think what he will do is he will grab something from the assembly line. It's heavier than you might imagine. It's unclear. It's an electronics part. And he just chucks it behind him where this guy's coming up and he hits him in the face, I guess. So this guy is he's shooting, but he's missing.
Nice. Um, so Donna, Asset, realizes he's getting nowhere with his gun. There's blood in his eyes. He can't see clearly enough to shoot. So he just crash tackles David onto the conveyor belt. They're heading for this big industrial press that's gonna, crush David's head.
Yes.
How does David avoid death this time?
I mean, that's set up so beautifully for the imminent death, isn't it? I think maybe we see David pull out a small knife and go for the gut, but this guy, grabs the knife with both hands and starts to bend it back down towards
Yeah.
David. And I think David like lets go of a hand and like grabs a soldering iron from the workstation and like jams it into his face.
Wow.
And the knife
Um,
gets dropped.
The knife gets dropped, but they're still heading for that big industrial press, and David's head is like right in the firing line. But at the last second, David, sort of hooks a foot under the guy's hips, manages to launch him forward, so he gets crushed under the press and not David.
Ooh, that was close.
Um, and
And
I guess
you give a token. Um,
um, well, I guess it just makes sense to pay them forward, not to power game this, but I'm going to give a token to Mads.
okay, cool. Mads, your action to roll.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. D6. Come on. Alright, 4. Keep Dave in your frame. Oh, sorry. Ducks down and hides. Alright, so I guess he stays within the electronics factory for a little bit. But let's see. Roll vision to see him or someone else's reaction to him. I think my guy has eyes on him. Maybe not direct eyes, maybe like, through maybe a quarterback through like, through the factory. And I'm gonna roll some vision to see about this. +1. Let's see. Rolling D6 +1. Yep. Okay, that is a 5. Keep David in the frame. All right. So, yeah, I think.
So just remember, you also have a token now. So if you wanted to, you could bump that up to a 7.
Ooh. Yee. Okay. Yeah. What the hell? I mean, like, what? Like, might as well, right? I mean, I think. Yeah, I think I'm alerted by the quarterback that's at the electronics factory who lets me know all about the fight. In fact, sends me the whole reel about um, there is some action at the factory, sir, and like sends me the live feed, and then I'm on my way there in my big fancy car, and yeah, I mean, like maybe I actually go over to the factory itself, and you know, observe the end of the fight. and watch as David ducks down to kind of like catch his breath. And yeah, so I'll use up the token. Come on. Let's see, what do I want to reveal? Okay, David remembers something about himself. Precious pursuers. Hmm. All right. Sorry, going to the prompt screen here. All right, I think I'm gonna just for funsies, it's like let's use up another column. So this is the place. He finds himself in this particular factory. The reason why he ducked in here is because, let's see, this is a building he actually worked in when he pretended to work while undercover. So he has ducked down into one of the offices, and I think, you know, I think my guy is watching as it's triggered something. It's like, he watches as David sits in the seat and then almost like automatically, mechanically starts working, like going through the file cabinets and like, going through papers as if he's doing a job here. And then like, the camera would see like cinematically, like, David going through a memory of being in this place and seeing him interact with coworkers and such, but also um, like breaking into their system and finding out the different parts and supply chains which are tied into some of the not cartel, but like some of the criminal underground that is working with this electronics place for the parts that they need for certain, yeah, certain operations. So yeah, I mean, like, he's looking at manifests. Like David's actually like, seeing manifests and it's sparking memories, and he's realizing where he is. This is very familiar to him. So,
Okay, awesome. So you also get
and
a
I
token.
all right, so paying it forward, so you get a token. And you get a token. Donna.
You get a token. You get a token. Okay. Awesome. So let me roll to see what kind of a scene we're in. Okay. Um, I wonder if I rolled a 5. David enters a restricted space. I think we see yeah, I think David still knows in the muscle memory the passcode through a door um that leads him down into the basement. Um I'm going to be rolling to see how okay, that is I rolled a 2. My access is -1, so that is a 1. Um on a terrible roll like this. David eludes me but suffers a setback. So this actually gives us a an item from the
But you,
information list as well.
okay. But you do get a
Um,
token for rolling so badly, yeah?
yeah, I got a token for rolling so bad, right? That's sweet.
You get to
Um, but also we get to discover some new information. Um, So it says, cross off the first option on the information list, and then unless that option is trap or endgame, describe a brief scene in which we see how that important source is eliminated. So that's a file. And I think maybe we just go for, yeah, I think down here there are, it's like this pristine lab. And I think maybe we're seeing it through like a CCTV, even though we can't get into the lab in the basement in time to stop David. And there's like these array of microchips and all this kind of stuff. And I think we see um, these are all obviously intended for like um, yeah, like transhuman experiments. So like maybe we see David distractedly scratch the back of his neck and we see a little scar there and we understand that like maybe one of these chips is like subcutaneously implanted on him. Um and yeah, I don't know, does some he has something in his jacket that he brings out and it's like a bomb, right? And then we see him leave, and then we see the countdown on the CCTV, and like we get an external shot of this like gout of flame coming out an air duct or a basement window or something. Like the factory above is basically untouched, but that lab is definitely destroyed. Yeah, and
Wow. Okay.
here's where I wonder, because I ticked off an option in information, do I also give a token? I think that seems exceedingly useful. So yeah, I guess I'll give one to Sabine.
Everyone gets a token. Cool. Okay, there we go with my token. Let's see what David does now. Um, 4. Ah, okay. Again, vision. David ducks down or hides. Yeah, okay, okay. I think David has gone out of the factory now because it's going to burn soon, so he doesn't want to be there. And I think yeah, we've had him at our side because there are security cameras everywhere. But now he's somewhere outside in the somewhere there is a warren of little back roads behind this factory and this industrial thing. We can still hear the distant noises from the carnival, but here it's fairly quiet because there are no birds because this is industrial quarter. So what that means that there are security cameras, but they don't usually face into that warren this warren Warren that is of little like these little roads past even and that they will lead down to the river, but my guy doesn't know where David might appear, so he'll have to go and walk around and hope that he'll catch him. My guy is not happy, but I mean he ready. So um yeah, so I roll with vision. Damn it. Do not like rolling with vision. How does this work? It doesn't. It's a 3 because I've got -1. So David eludes me unless I spend my token, right? And then I can keep David in my frame. Cool. No, you're not getting away. I will keep you in my frame. And what I see is, as I said, my guy goes down to the river and he sees David get on a boat. This is unclear if this is the person on the whose boat this is picks David up or gets threatened. My guy doesn't know that. He just knows he needs a boat, right? So I get to choose the next thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess you picked acquires a new vehicle, so
Yeah,
now you can roll
exactly.
an
So I mean,
success.
now I have to find a boat. Come on, and find a boat, right? Can't be that hard. Come on, boat. No, I can't. I can't. I David eludes me. Damn it. Yeah, I guess I can. The only thing I can find is a little pedal boat or something. Um, and that won't help me. He's in a motorboat. I won't go in there. I will stand there looking after this and get on my phone and say, "Hey guys, he's on this boat. I'm getting a car." But yeah, that's where we're at.
Okay, nice. I'm just looking at the time. I wonder, do we want to take a break? Caffeinate ourselves? Okay, we're back. Shane, I think it's you.
My time to see what David will do. So one, which is David turns a corner, roll speed to catch up and maintain pursuit. Speed is not my strong suit, and he's on what is it? What sort of boat is he riding on exactly?
Is
Something
that a
with a motor
speedboat?
in it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's about as much as I know about boats as well.
I mean,
All
you could
right.
get off, we could get off the boat and then turn a corner. So,
All right, so this is D6 minus one. Oh, that is a one altogether with no tokens. So David eludes us but suffers a setback. I am just watching him speed off the canal takes a corner. I've got no way to track him. I should cross off the first option on the information list unless that option is a trap, and it is a trap at this point. So I just take a token and pass the camera. All right. Well, Mads, it's all you.
That's unfortunate. We should definitely get rid of that trap soon so we have access to that
Yeah,
cool
someone shoot the
ability.
trap. Yeah, that would be
Okay,
cool.
so all right, so how did this? Okay, so I'm sorry. How does this work? So,
So
uh,
you did you give a token? So you get a token, right?
oh,
I
I
got
get a
a
token.
token.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Okay, so okay, Shane got a token,
Yeah.
and then I
You
do.
got to roll to see what action David takes next.
Okay. Um. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. Okay. Come on. All right. So enters a crowded space again. Yeah. So, comes out of the boat, turns a corner, and comes into a crowded space. I think. Oh man. I think it just manages to since it came on a speedboat, like probably like caught like a tourist attraction somewhere, and managed to catch like a bunch of cruisers, like like off of like a bunch of cruise lines, and so God damn it, whole big ass square, and he's just gotten lost in a bunch of tour guides. So we're hearing the cacophony of like, and this is the Saint da 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 of Carisco or whatever the hell it was, and another tour is giving of like the history behind it, and the other history is of like the bloody legend of whatever, and it's really annoying. And so my guy has to roll vision to keep him in sight. This should be great. Okay, we could do this. We could totally do this. All right, so that's a 4. Keep him in the frame. All right. So we're watching him. He's trying to get lost in the crowd. Like he's making as if he's joining one of the tour groups. He's doing what they do. So if it looks like they're fiddling with like the little earpieces or like like the little wire sets, like he's pretending he has one, and then he's kind of shuffling papers that he happens to have on his person, like as if he's got the little tour pamphlets. He's doing the same thing, but yeah, my guy's just kind of like um, watching him from afar, and then just making sure that he's got eyes on him for sure. Um, Keeping him in the frame. Do I like roll another action to see what he does next?
No, so because you kept them in the frame, you can
Hmm.
choose the next action. Basically you choose the
Oh,
next roll
choose.
you're gonna make.
Oh, okay, nice, nice. Okay, so choosing the next action. So, hmm. Yeah, I think when the tour starts to move, pardon, and then starts to go into a particular area, David veers off, and then my guy will like duck sideways, like laterally to keep eyes on him. So I think I will roll vision again to keep him in my sights, just to make sure that I have eyes on him again. Um, Crap. All right, 3. He eludes me. I think, in this particular, maybe it's a basilica. I don't know, like whatever it is. I mean, like it's a darn church, and it's got um, the like maybe another tour group, like gets in front of me somehow, and like the tourists just kind of get in my way, and I can't veer um, past them. And then as that distraction's going on, then he manages to duck within the passageways of this particular place, and then I lose him. So
Okay.
yeah.
So let me roll for my action. It's a
Hmm.
4. Yeah, I mean, I think he is ducked down. Maybe we see him. Uh, we get a shot of him in a dark place, and then we see a grill open next to him, and we realize he's like in the confessional. And he doesn't know what he's done. He's got no sins to confess. So let me
I mean, he
roll.
shoved the guy into a thing,
Yeah.
right? So he can confess that.
That was totally self-defense. So let me roll to see. That's a 2. That is disgraceful. I think I'll spend a token to keep him in frame. Yeah, so I think we see my guy just standing um, at the bottom of the stairs, and he's about to go up to the bell tower because that's where all the best fights happen. And he just pauses to let someone come down, and then he sees David like step out of the confessional with the priest, uh, uh, yelling. The Netflix subtitles go yells in Spanish or something like that. So I will choose, because I keep him in the frame because I bumped that result up, I will choose speed. So I think, yeah, David like looks over and we lock eyes and he just runs. And I am running after him. I think he is, maybe, maybe barging. Like there's a bunch of people like lined up, to look at the chapel or whatever, and he is struggling to get his way through them. And let's see how I catch up. That is a 5. So yeah, I think I keep him in the frame again. That's 2 in a row. Um, and I think he turns the corner. Maybe he gets out of the basilica, and I have to speed up to catch up and keep an eye on him. So let me roll that die again. Ooh, that is a 6. So that's still keeping in the frame, but that's 3 frames in a row. So I get to reveal something. And I guess it's gotta be a trap, right? I think so it's describe a scene. David finds information, um, but it's a bait. So maybe when he rushes out to the outside, we actually see that he wasn't running away from my guy. He was chasing the guy who's in the other half of the confessional, but we've only realized it now. Um, and that guy turns around And David recognizes him, but then we see like the camera widens and we see the guy like raising a pistol to shoot him. So that's the trap. He recognizes this guy, but uh, only too late he realizes he's being like um, lured into this ambush. Um, Obviously, it's not going to work. Um, but I wonder, do we remember something specific about like who this guy is? I think we have to because it's finding out information. Um, yeah, I think we see this guy and in this flashback, these kind of younger, I don't know, less tanned, more lean, whatever versions of David and this assassin, like sitting on a bench in their PT gear, obviously part of some institution, and they're like kind of laughing and joking, and like we see a doctor do that implant thing on both of them in the back of their necks, and they're like shrugging and like, oh, this is what we gotta do. But definitely this pair of agents were in this together. Yeah, so I'm gonna give a token. I guess I'll give it to Sabine in the whole
Okay.
paying it forward thing.
I used the token last time, right? So I have one now.
Yeah, sorry, I just put that in.
Okay, okay, okay. Cool. So where's David now? Let's see where David is now.
Yeah, so here, because we kind of left this in a memory,
Mm-hmm.
we can
Mm-hmm.
have that assassin just be gone, or maybe David escapes him, depending on what you roll. So you can
Yeah,
play fast and loose with the timeline here, if it makes sense.
I've rolled a, I've rolled a one. I've rolled a one. We didn't have that before, right? Turns a corner, run speed to catch up and maintain pursuit. Damn. Yeah, so I think what happened here is that there was this trap and there was this assassin guy. But I mean it's a bell tower. I think David just tapped the bell really hard and started to ring, and the assassin was like, "Ah, no, my ears!" And David just gets out of the bell tower and slides down, climbs down, and then slides down the roof. Yes, I know it's ridiculous, but come on, this is an action spy flick, right? So he's on the rooftop now. He can jump over rooftops, which is uh great, I guess. So I have to run after him. I think I'm maybe still on the ground and just follow along, because I have a drone, obviously, keeping him inside. But let's see how that works, or if I stumble over something. Um, no, I've got a one. That means I can spend the token to just keep. No, with a
No,
one, I
remember,
will bump it up to David Lucio. That doesn't make any sense.
no, a one is a good result, right?
Oh, it
He
is
eludes
Lucio
you
with
but
stuff.
suffers a setback,
Oh, okay, okay.
and
Yeah,
then we get a free pick off the information list.
nice. Okay, and that means
And you
contact this.
and you also get a token.
I
And we
also
get
get a
to it's
token,
all it's
right?
all good. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
one result.
I mean, okay. So that means that's contact again, right?
Yeah, so it's the next
Okay.
result of the information list.
Ah, I like that. Okay, so I think when yeah, well, I think David gets away because of the rooftop thing. I'm not cut out for a rooftop chase, apparently. I'm not surprised because no depth perception, jumping across roofs, that doesn't seem like like a really good idea. So I lose him. And I think while David is still on the rooftops, he will see someone. Um, he recognizes, and I think let's have a woman this time because we have too many guys already. So I think what he sees is while he's on the rooftop, and he sees me trying to follow him, and then he sees me talking to this woman, wherever she is, but he recognizes her, and I think he remembers very clearly that yeah, that one time when they were in Belgium, Bruges to be precise, and that they were. He doesn't remember the circumstances, but they were on opposite sides of some issue, and they were like standing in the crowd. They couldn't do anything, just talk to each other, and there was a clear this unresolved sexual tension going on between them while they were kind of threatening each other. And I think she remembers that she's called Ava with an A, with two A's.
Okay, awesome. And you give a token to someone as well.
I get to give that. I will give that to Mads because the pretty guy doesn't have any. So
So you don't. It's not one from your list. It's just
oh,
you keep
okay.
all your tokens. You just give one.
Oh, okay. Well, I still this guy because my guy might. Anyway, let's not get distracted here.
All right. Let's see what David is doing next. David acquires a new vehicle. Well, so far he's had what, a motorbike and a boat. I guess it stands to reason that he's now hijacked a helicopter, and I'm gonna have to find another one to follow. Luckily, is my strength. Ooh, but I'm not doing too well, so it's still a two. Can bump it up to keep David in the frame with my token. Can I use the token to drop my result down a level? I assume I can't do that. Or,
Um, let me see. It says increase their stat roll to the next highest result. So no, unfortunately not.
oh well. I'm going to use it to keep David in the frame. So he thinks he's getting away on his helicopter, but he wasn't ready for me on my little, I don't know, private plane, little Cessna thing, flying after him, ducking and weaving through the city. Um, I don't know. I think I'm going to find it challenging to narrate a whole air chase. So I'm going to say that David acquires a new vehicle. His helicopter lands. He's into a off-road van that he's driving and careening around. Now let's see if I can again find my own vehicle. It's a five. All right, I'm keeping him in the frame again. This time I'm on a motorbike, following him quite speedy, able to twist and turn through the alleyways a little faster than he can drive his car away. But he's entering a restricted space. What's a cool restricted space that he can drive his van into? Um, uh, we've got prompts, don't we? I keep forgetting that. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I like that. So to try and get away, he jumps out at the front of a hospital and runs through the ER. I'm going to see if I can follow him. So this would be if I keep him in frame, it's going to be the third time. Oops. That's a five. He's still in the frame. Um, so what do I do? So I'm going to mark file, might as well, information. So I think I thought he'd come into this hospital just to try and get away from me in the tumult, but actually he's searching for patient files, because this is the hospital where they carried out the implant procedure. Uh, and, yeah, I see him jerk a USB out of a computer. He's just managed to download the information and he's rushing off again. So I give someone a token. I guess I'll give it to Mads. That's that's me done.
Okay, cool.
Greatly appreciated. All right. Let's see where he's at. Okay. Ducks down or hides. Okay. So he's in a hospital, so oh God. Hides plenty of places to hide here. Fudge. Um, Eyes on him. I think my guy's got contacts in the hospital and probably sees him not obvious. So I think he goes into like the waiting area to blend in, probably. Um, yeah, actually, you know what? He goes into the waiting area in the emergency room because God knows there's probably tons of people in there, and he can just kind of wait it out as if he's waiting for somebody that has gone in or is going to go in. Um, and so I will see if I can keep eyes on him. All right, keep him in the frame. All right, he seems to be he seems to be looking nervous, and he's looking around as if he's trying to figure out a way to get access to this USB drive that we have identified that he has in his pocket. He will not take that hand out of his pocket because he just has a death grip on it, as we assume. So, yeah, I think he's. Shit. I don't want to. I mean, it just works in the fiction. I think he's going to enter a restricted space, so I'm going to have to roll access to see if I can follow him. God damn it. Yeah, no choice for it. Um, yeah, he's going to try to enter into one of the admin spaces. So I'm going to see if I can try and follow, but we'll see. Nope. That's a no. He eludes me. But I will try and let somebody else know, like to get eyes on him, like saying that he's entered into the administrative space to get access to a computer to try and download some files.
So, Mads,
Yeah.
remember you have a bunch of tokens, so you could spend
Oh,
one to bump
oh, okay, that's true.
if you want.
I
Yeah.
will then keep him in the frame then. So yeah, I will keep him in the frame. Um, and I will, yeah, patch into my contact in administration who's very, very helpful to him, saying, "Oh, sure, this particular person is not in the office at the moment, but the space is available if you need to do." Oh no, you know what? He ducks into he ducks into the to the administration part of the hospital library where you can do research. And yeah, I think he says some sort of bullshit story which they pretend to believe, and with my help, and then he manages to get access to a computer, um, and yeah, we see him try to get into the USB drive to see what he finds out for sure. Ducks down or hides, I guess, and then roll vision to keep eyes on him. 6. All right, great. Still in frame. And I guess is that three? No,
That's
two?
three, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is more
So,
information or
so
something
this
else?
basically, yeah, basically you reveal anything. So remember, it can be
Okay.
a memory or identity or information if you want. I
Hmm.
mean, it makes sense to fill in some of those memory or identity ones if you like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let me see the event thing because I was always curious about those other things. Yeah, I
And
think what. Go ahead.
so I was just going to say they don't have to be in order, so you can
Oh.
pick anywhere off that list.
Oh, okay.
There's just some things where it says the next one down, but
Okay.
other than
All
that,
right.
you can
But
jump ahead.
okay. Yeah, because I was gonna pick an event. I think for the event under memory, I think he will start fiddling through the files, which, considering he's on like a hospital computer, it makes it easier to actually access. And he uh he finds a particular file which springs a memory, which we see cinematically, of this person that he saved. And it was a patient who, I think it was this Ava. He did save her, and it was intentional because he knew he had to have her help in this particular job before he lost his memory to get that particular job done. Otherwise, his ass was in the fire, and she knew she owed him a favor for sure. And so and they did have a relationship, so he definitely wanted to make sure that she was saved. And he remembers this specifically because he also was at her bedside to make sure nobody else would come in and try to kill her. So um, that comes up as a memory, and he's literally at the computer and he's death gripping the mouse as he's clicking through her file and realizing it's like she had multiple wounds when she was brought in, and the surgery that, like, it was so close. I mean, like, like looking at the flipping through some of the scans and some of the notes, some of the doctors, the surgery notes. So yeah. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Oh, it's back to me. I got a six on the scene type. Acquires a new vehicle. So I guess maybe he like lamps into an ambulance or something. That that totally makes sense. And I will try to acquire a vehicle myself. Oh, okay. I rolled a five, which isn't bad with the minus one. Yeah, hospital workers need pizza too. I think I jump on a pizza delivery motorbike, speeding down the road. I think some other pizzas on the back fly off and land on a park bench next to a very lucky student. But yeah, on the motorbike, a little uh, a little 50 cc job, something that's barely able to keep up with this heavy but fast ambulance. Um, yeah, I think obviously this was some kind of ruse, and we see like the ambulance like drive into drive through or halfway through a gate, and like David jumps out of the front seat, so he's like the ambulance is blocking the gate to prevent any kind of pursuit. But I think I'm gonna roll speed before I describe myself doing something the dice won't support. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a two. That's a two. I'm gonna bump that up to a four, five, six, with my token, my last token. So yeah, I think I like pull a wheelie into the rear of the ambulance and then like, just kind of drive straight through the windscreen. Obviously, physics have are losing grip on this reality. I just drive straight through or maybe I just jump off the bike and then run through and then barge through the windscreen. That's much cooler. And then keeping with speed and spending a token, much more impossible. Um, okay, and then yeah, obviously David turns around to see this, I don't know, wannabe Terminator chasing after him, and so he breaks into a run. Um, so I will roll a four. So that is keeping him in the frame again. So that is a scene, a reveal. Let's go for go for a place. I think obviously we're like mid chase, and he is like running through this courtyard. Really peaceful, like kind of benches, hedges, trees with some nice shade, maybe a fountain in the middle. And we see maybe maybe when Ava was getting back on her feet, they would like sit in this garden and talk. Um, so yeah, a place important to a friend or loved one, I think. It really fits the vibe. And, I think we just run straight through. Oh, have we lost Shane? Oh no. Yeah, I think we just see the two of them running through, and we see this memory of, David sitting on that bench with Ava previously. Okay. So sorry, I should mark that off. Okay. How about do we take a quick break and see if we can get Shane back?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's say we say 5 minutes,
That's fine. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then we'll
resume.
Mhm.
regroup
Yeah.
when Shane gets back. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
All right, scene five.
Scene five. We've lost one of our people due to the vagaries of the internet, so we're gonna continue on. Phone guy is safe from David Webb for now till the sequel. Um, Sabine, do you wanna?
Yeah. I will roll a die. Let's see where David is. He's at a two. Breaks into a run. Okay, fine. Where was he last time? Where were we?
Running through that nice sheltered courtyard slash garden.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, okay, courtyard slash garden. Oh, I think there is some sort of ruin there, right? It could be, I think it's probably construction. It's no, it's an older building that's under reconstruction because there are a lot of warning signs that this might come down and but well, I mean, David knows he's being pursued, so he'll just straight up run into it. And my guy is like, "You are got to be fucking kidding me. Where's that phone guy? Damn it. Oh, he retired. Cool. Yeah. Fuck this. This is not a PG-13 movie, clearly. Yeah, yeah. Fine, I'm running after him into the ruin. This will go swimmingly. Well, no, it doesn't. It's a tree, but I've got tokens, so I will spend one to keep David in the frame, which means that I will run into behind him into this ruined thing that is under construction. And while I'm looking around to find and see him, I think he'll throw a wheelbarrow that's on one of the higher levels at me. I evade, of course, because I'm a competent person. Um, but that gives me a little pause because he's got the high ground now. He can throw stuff at me. I do not enjoy this. What I will try is I will call my fucking drone and put some pressure on him with that one, right? So do I have to choose an action or can I just freewheel tell me playing with the drone?
So yeah, I guess I mean you can choose an action, but
Mm,
obviously you can frame it slightly
okay.
differently to make sense
Yeah.
to roll
Yeah, I
the
think
stat you want to roll.
yeah, I want to roll access because it's kind of restricted because if I don't get up there, I can't just run up the stairs because they get me, right? So I need to do an access thing because, hello? Oh, there we go. Let me roll access here. And it's a 5. So yeah, drone is kind of working at least. It's kind of distracting David. So I can get up to the higher level without him throwing stuff at me because he has to throw stuff at the drone now, which he does. Um, and I mean, he catches the drone. That wasn't the intention. I mean, this was just a distraction, so I could get up to the upper level. But what I didn't foresee was that David would. This is a park, right? So he will run to the end of the wall, and then he'll give me this look like and say something that I can't hear because it's pretty that I can't hear because he's not saying it very loudly. And I get out my gun, but he jumps into a tree, of course. And I'm like, this guy I'm shooting, but obviously don't hit him. And I think we'll call this, he breaks into a run again. And he'll just try to get down the tree before I can catch up with him. We'll see how that goes. No, that was a good catch, David. That was a good catch. He eludes me, but suffers a setback. Yeah, okay, fine. So he climbs down the tree. I don't try to follow because no, I'm not a monkey. Come on, fuck this. Um, he eludes me, and that means that I have to do an information thing again, right? With a
Yeah, so
setback.
you pick the next one.
Okay.
So the file or contact is the next one.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Memory fonts. People. Um, that's an information prompt. Okay. Yeah, I think you know what he gets to the ground, and I think when he gets there, he runs over. There's a little gazebo, like a pretty little thing that is in this garden. And he'll remember, wait a minute, there's a dead drop here. So he'll go to and my guy still has another drone. This guy has a lot of drones. He will or maybe he see this from up there. He's got a good vantage point. Sees David get into this gazebo and do something with one of the flagstones, and he's like, no, fuck no. Tries to shoot, but of course the shot goes wild. David grabs whatever's in that Dropbox. It is a file, I think. No, it's not. Yeah, it's a file. It's a paper. It's a paper file. It's a list. It's a list of names. Um, I can't make this really out, but he looks at that and Ava's name is on it. And there are other names, I guess, and well, maybe one of them is David's own, but of course it's not David, so yeah. But he looks at it and it's like the light bulb goes up on his head. And there's a doctor's name at the top of that list. And the name is Dr. Moreau, because I can't think of a better name right now. Yeah. Okay.
Guess we
And
gotta go
that's,
to an island next, right?
yeah, yes, we haven't been to an island yet. Cool.
So you give a token as well, and then it's Mad's turn.
Cool. I will give my token to you, to the tough guy, because he doesn't have any.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Mads, you go.
Okay. All right. So he's gotten the drop, but I still need to roll for an action. Okay. Because it could be a time jump or something. All right. All right. He turns a corner. So, nuts. Speed. Not good at this. All right. Well, see what happens. Bougie. Nope. Lose me, but I'm gonna use my one token and keep him in the frame. So I think from this drop, maybe he
But you just rolled a 4, right?
huh?
You
Oh,
just rolled a 4?
why? Okay, so yeah, because I mean, like it looks like I rolled a 4, but I mean, oh, okay. So I the top of it's not showing for me, so it's like I didn't realize that the 4 was there.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at the 2. Okay, all right, cool. So I'll keep him in the frame. Never mind. Okay. So he's in the frame. You know what? Let's advance it a little bit. So I mean, like from the drop, maybe he's gone elsewhere to research this guy, this doctor, and he's traced this doctor to um, a medical arts building. So I mean, like where a bunch of different medical services are. Like so, it's a medical high rise, and he turns a corner, and it's like my guy's like kind of like obviously watching, but like trying to catch up to him as well because he's like got all these floors to to go by, and he's not sure exactly where David is going. So, and I guess that was my speed roll. So he does manage to keep up with David, amazingly enough. Trying to think exactly how this goes. And I think, trying to make what makes sense. I mean, it's kind of a crowded space, I guess, because I mean, like again, it's like it's a medical high rise, so I mean, like there's like a bunch of people here, like coming in and out of this space, and it's kind of bougie. It's kind of boutique, like like private people come here, like so it's not your regular insurance office uh office type um medical offices. It's more of like you private care kind of thing. So there's it's done up like fancy corporate spaces instead, but there's still like many people in and out. So I think he's got to stay on top of David. So he's got to keep him in his sights. So let's see. Okay, catch up with David. All right. So I think he manages to follow David to Dr. Moreau's office specifically. Let's see, hold on. where you both are,
So yeah,
reveal
you can
something.
pick anything from any list. So
Okay.
you go with an asset or quarterback again, or maybe David remembers a conversation or meets a person, right?
Okay, let me see.
Whatever you want.
Right. An agency figure trying the soft way. Hmm. Would this be with us in particular, or would this be like triggered by wherever we are?
I mean, it can be. I mean, I think
I never
triggered
know what
by,
this thing.
yeah, wherever you are or whoever you're meeting in this place, or maybe it's just a random memory, or it could
Oh,
be
okay, yeah,
us,
okay.
right?
I got
Yeah.
it, I got it, I got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So basically this would be a conversation. So I think, yeah, I think as we both enter this office, and again, this is very bougie, this is very um this would be comfortable in any high end um corporate office, but yet it has like, the whole sense of sterility and health and well-being. So it's got like, the sound of fountains and also like, like waterfalls in the background with that like ambient music of like, not chanting, but just you know, um, just again, higher level like frequency sounds or whatever that's like, in trending or what have you. And as David makes his way inside this place and, like he tries to make an appointment with Dr. Moreau or tries to get in to see Dr. Moreau under some pretext, I we see my guy like kind of like with his back against the wall before you go into the reception area, and he's kind of like recalling a conversation that he's had with Dr. Moreau about David, like kind of like through a viewing monitor, like, kind of like where uh, David has been like set off in a room under examination, and I think there's the conversation about the chip that's implanted in David's neck, and this conversation this fellow between Dr. Moreau and this fellow, like tall, white haired, bearded and everything. It's like, Doctor, are you sure that this is going to take? There has been a 99% success rate, of course, but with memory activation being what it is, every time you switch on and off, of course, there is that feedback loop that could reset the memory. So instead of being an amnesiac, there could be the possibility of some sort of psychosis. How do we know this is going to be foolproof? And of course, Dr. Moreau gives a whole bunch of scientific gobbledygook, and my guy's not convinced. And just thinks upon this conversation and, uh, thinks upon it and wonders if David will find out certain things about, his particular condition while he's here. So, yeah.
And give a token.
Okay. I will give a token to Tough Guy.
Okay, so let me roll to see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I guess David is going up into this the restricted area of this medical center, like this private uh operating theater maybe or something like this. And my strong suit is access, so let's see what the dice say. Oh wow, that's a 0 on my roll. Um, so yeah, there are no valid options left on the information list because the only one left on information is endgame. So yeah, I can't get in, right? My security card just goes red and I call someone. Maybe we get a hint of suits in a control center somewhere, and they say, "We're sending the other agent," and I'll
Can't you
take it. Well, I can bump it up to eludes me, but I can't. I can't. Then that just finishes my go. So
can't you I don't know, like in this kind of case, like couldn't you like bump it to somebody who does have access like Sabine's guy? I don't know. I
yeah,
mean, I don't
that's the other agent, I assume. I hope.
It's like get in, man, get in.
Uh,
Yeah, okay, so it's my turn, right?
yeah.
Cool. Let's see what David's up to. So before doing anything else. Ah, 1d6. It's a 1. Okay, that's fine. Turns a corner. All speed to carry. Yeah. Okay, I think I have. Let's skip time a little because I think I got in because that makes sense. And we're in this. We're in this. We're still in this health center thingy, right? Okay. So I guess what happens is David turns a corner. Yeah, I think what happens is that we had a little delay here, right? So whatever David had come to do, I think he did. And now the first time I get here, I can see him running across the car park, and I'm pretty sure he wants a car, but for now he's running. So I guess I have to run again after him. Damn it. And I can't even shoot here because the health clinic and the agency it takes a very dim view and people shoot anyway. So yeah. Come on, David. Stay still for just a minute. It won't hurt that much. It's a 4. Yeah, I keep David in my frame. It's fine. Okay. So yeah, I think he is, and I will go with he acquires a vehicle because he will just well um, grab a car that's standing around, and he clearly has a destination in mind. I clearly don't want him to get there, so I think I have to find my own vehicle again with access. So I want a shiny new muscle car. Probably will get a Prius. So D6, slowly roll. Wow, yeah, it's a 7. I got a Prius. It's the but it's an agency Prius, right? It's just disguised as a normal kind of looking car. It's actually has a very powerful thing. Anyway, I think I will go with the asset because I want another fight, or it's a car chase scene that we're going to have here, right? Um, and the asset thingy that is over here somewhere. I will find this. There we go, asset. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I think I call up some other people who will help me out here, and I think we get the some people in also in agency cars that all Priuses. I think we have a ad kind of contract, right, with Prius or whoever makes a Prius. So we will see a lot of them swarming onto this muscle car that David stole. Um, And I think we're going to this whole, yeah, I think we're trying to kill him, right? So I
Definitely.
would, and I think the first thing I do is I will ask the others to coordinate to just drive David off the road, right? And then I have to ask about the other players, and I will ask you, Matt, how does he escape this? How does he get away? Why don't we kill him there?
Like you're trying to run him off the road?
Yeah, we're trying to run him off the road into a
And
ditch or something.
what kind of vehicle does he have?
He has
Or
a
did
muscle
he?
car.
Yeah, I think you're trying to run him off the road, but I mean he's going by sheer weight. Like
No.
in this muscle car, he's just like, like literally like, just careening, and then just he doesn't care like what's in his way. He's just like kind of like banging into it and just using the sheer weight of the car to keep him like, you know, all four tires down.
Mm.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to hook him off. It's
Oh, fuck
he's
this.
Yeah, he's just plowing through.
Ah,
So,
okay, I guess it's time for the guns, right?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think all the Prius drivers will get out their hidden or not so hidden guns and will start shooting at the muscle car. Then how does David get away from this?
I think David like pulls a handbrake turn and keeps rolling backwards and like puts his hand out the window with his suddenly revealed automatic weapon and like
Oh
so he's
no.
going backwards, shooting at the Priuses, chasing him, and yeah, uh,
Yeah,
the rule of cool. I mean, David is
yeah,
obviously much cooler than these people driving Priuses.
yeah,
I bet he
yeah.
didn't watch John Wick 4. No, I mean, not at all.
No. Okay. Though, yeah, I think that means okay, and I will describe how David kills the asset. So, yeah, I mean, you said it. He has a gun, and I think he's not precisely hitting one of the drivers, but one of the cars gets out of control, and then we just have this kind of domino effect, right? One of the Priuses starts to tailspin, runs into another Prius, and then the third Prius drives into this clusterfuck, and then somebody else drives into the clusterfuck, and then my guy narrowly avoids driving into the clusterfuck and instead drives off the road, and then sits there and is kind of like, fuck this guy. Yeah. So yeah, David gets away. Hooray, I guess. Somebody marked the asset of quarterback, and I think it was even me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
cool.
you give a token and then
Oh, I
no
give
one
a
can act.
token. I'm giving a token to Mass's character.
Don't give another token to me.
Hmm? Excuse, well,
Greedy much?
Yeah.
Don't you have enough
no.
cake? Come on now.
You have enough cake. Matt's
I have
gets
enough
cake.
cake. Yeah, I haven't eaten my cake yet. I don't get another slice till I finish
Why don't you
my
why
dinner.
aren't why aren't you offering us a piece of your cake? That's what I want to
Uh,
know.
I haven't been told to yet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
Maybe I can spend next time I roll a zero, I can spend all three of them to raise it 3 levels of results. Maybe I can
Ooh.
do
It
that.
doesn't have a limitation in the game, does
I
it?
mean,
It
it
just says
doesn't
it's
say I
like,
can't.
no, it doesn't. So, I mean, what that? Why? Why not? Why not?
Okay, Mads.
Oh my gosh. Uh, okay. Um, so I gotta say where this guy is now. Oh God. So he's not off the road, right?
Or he
He's
could be, you know.
I mean,
well, I mean, but
he's
but he
escaped.
survived.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
Yeah, he's
survived.
escaped. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
he
Yeah,
yeah.
he
escaped
survived. Okay.
in his muscle
Sure.
car and can ditch
Okay.
it or go
Okay.
somewhere
Let's see.
else.
Let's see where he is.
Mhm.
Oh wow. He acquired a new vehicle. God damn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he probably ditched the new vehicle now that he's like, backed up, handbrake turn, all this kind of stuff. Like
People
he's
were
fucked
shooting at
that
him.
transmission.
Maybe that muscle
Mhm.
Right.
car
Well,
is,
yeah. So right. So the muscle car has been riddled with holes, transmission shot, all this other garbage. So he had to ditch the vehicle and get a new
Mhm.
one. So I think he has commandeered, in any way he knew how, he commandeered a motorcycle and safety first. So he has a helmet, so it's like not easily identifiable, but we still have eyes on him. Like, people made sure to tag where he is. Um, yeah. So access to find our own vehicle. So my guy, access, not his best stat. Fuck. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's a 4. So still in frame. So my guy still manages to keep him visible and finds his own um, vehicle to keep up with him. Oh, I mean,
I mean, you could
hmm.
spend a token
Let's,
to raise it to a 7, right? If you want
I
to
could. Mm,
keep the pressure
yeah.
on.
Mm, yeah. I think. Well, let's see. To
And
catch
I don't
up with
know,
him.
we could always go to endgame if we feel like we
Mhm.
filled in enough details.
I think. I mean, we have. I mean, I like. Do
Mhm.
we feel like we filled in enough details? I mean, like this is not just my guy keeping eyes on him or whatever. I mean, like do we catch up with him? Like, do we want to make the like you've been running like my guy like saying it's like you've been running quite some time, young man. Whatever.
Mhm.
Do we want to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, let's do that. I think
Okay.
we know what's going on, right? With the chip
Yeah.
and this lady and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah. So yeah, I mean like okay, so I'll spend a token and then basically say, yeah, we've caught up.
mm,
So is it end game? I mean like because we've reached information.
yeah, yeah.
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 So
So
what is this?
what our options are, or we
Hmm.
have one final scene. We can choose to kill David one last time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's like a fight, or we contribute to a montage in which David escapes.
All right. So
Uh,
what is everybody's vote? Because I mean, me personally, I don't care either way. But I know that my guy has been concerned because, of course, with the memory resets, it's like he was bound for a psychosis, which obviously he's been suffering from. So, ay,
Yeah, but do we want to kill him or do we want to
that's the
contain
question.
him or what's our strategy here? Do we want Ava to appear and save him at the last minute?
That's the question. I mean, I'll go with any of it because it sounds cool.
I like,
um,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, if it's a montage
Mm,
where David gets to walk away,
mm,
then we can just take it in turns and we can build the kind of scene we want. Uh,
Hmm.
mm.
so we don't need to plan it as such.
I mean, I can start it because it's like then you guys can take it away after I you know start it since like I caught up with him. That okay?
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I think David ends up where he ends up. Like he's on the motorbike and he stops off at some place where I guess it's like uh, if not a drop point, then like a kind of like a safe house, like where he's remembers he's left things. Like extra money or a passport or clothing or just supplies or something like that. And then he turns around and then he sees me and say, David, you've been running for quite some time. I think maybe it's time you need to stop running. You've learned so much. And it probably hasn't helped. But maybe I have someone here that can help. that you've helped. And this is where he will kind of signal to somebody that has been in the other room, and my guy brings out Ava.
You want to hand over to me or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and I think in this moment, it's not clear when when the Mook brings out Ava, whether Ava is there willingly
Mm-hmm.
or as a hostage, right?
Right.
Um, and David looks unsure, like he has all these memories that he can't really fully contextualize, but he knows how he felt back in that garden, right? And maybe he lowers the gun that we didn't know he had. The camera just pulls out and we see him lower the gun.
Well, I mean, he is in a
Oh.
place of like he had supplies, so yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Um, and I think his guard is down. He like steps forward and like we see him like now through a camera and he steps like forward into line of sight of a window and then like
Mhm.
in the building opposite we see the tough guy with a sniper rifle aiming at David.
Oh.
I mean, my guy's like over by the corner, but visible.
Yeah, yeah,
So if he was gonna make a signal, then he would make a signal
Mm.
visible
yeah.
to tough guy. So
So I don't know, Sabine, do you want to close this out with a bow or?
Um,
we'll go with
ye-
whatever you say. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
oh, cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about the twist that we have to have at the end, right?
Sure, absolutely.
I have a kind of perfect twist because I think the cigarette guy will then show up and say, well, this experiment has not worked as we thought it would, David. If you just lower your gun and give yourself into our hands, everything will be fine and Ava won't be harmed, and we'll deactivate the chip and you can just continue your normal life, right? And David is like super suspicious at this point because that is too little too good to be true, honestly. And I think that's when Ava, who's clearly under at least some kind of duress, um, says to David, like, in the kind of tone that tells him that she's not, her words are say one thing, but her expression says it totally different and says to him, well, and points at my guy, at the eye patch guy, well, listen to Dr. Moreau. He's got your best interests at heart. And I think that's when David realizes that all of this has been a setup, and he will then shoot Dr. Moreau. Um, and yeah, and I think that's when maybe your guy will signal
Yeah,
to Donna's guy, and then there's a little clusterfuck. But I think
I love
the
it.
last frame might be that David and Ava are still on the run,
Yes,
but together and have a better basis for realizing for untangling this whole fucking thing with the chips and well, yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
yeah,
Amazing.
lovely. And we have a sequel set up, which is the primary objective, right?
Yeah,
Oh my God, amazing.
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, very cool. Let me stop the recording and we'll do our quick debrief.